we saw that in our car class we had this drive method. Okay, we saw that we can call this drive method if we refer our classes as car instead of manual transmission car here and automatic transmission car here, we can simply refer to them as car. And if we call the drive method, we already saw that this drive gets called. But what if I introduce drive methods in these two classes as well? So I have introduced drive method here as well and drive method in the automatic transition class as well, driving using automatic transition, and here driving using manual transmission. Now when I call this drive method, drive is present in the parent class as well, drive is present in the child class as well. Which one will be called? So this problem is called runtime polymorphism. Okay, so let's see which one gets called, whether the parent one gets called or the child one gets called. It's an interesting scenario here because I'm putting debug points as well that I know which one will get caught. Okay, so I start this, I come to this line. Let's remove this debug from this parent constructors. So I come to this line. Now which one will get called? A parent drive will be called or child drive method will be called? Let's see. I'm clicking on resume button and the answer is child drive method will be called. You can see it is printing driving using manual transmission. You see it has printed driving using manual transmission. Okay. Similarly for this one also, automatic car also, the drive method inside the automatic car is called. It will print driving using automatic transmission. Why it is not calling the parent method and why is it calling the child method? We are referring to it as class. So why is it not calling the parent method? Because in runtime polymorphism, which method is called is decided by this, the actual object type. Okay, so this is called runtime polymorphism, where the actual method which is being called is decided at the runtime. Same method implementation is present in two places, parent and child both. Which one will be called? It will be at the runtime, it will be checked, and based on the actual object type, it will be called. The appropriate method will be called. Okay, so this is runtime polymorphism. And there is one more thing. Suppose in the manual transmission, there is a step up gear method. Okay, I create another step up gear method, absolutely same name, same signature, everything. Java will not allow me to do so because it is absolutely same. But this one takes input as a gear number, current gear number, and then it increases the gear by 1 and then it prints what gear is it currently running on. Okay, and now if in this car example I try to, since I'm referring to it as car, and if I try to call this step up gear, we will not see that method, we will not be able to call that method. In order to call that method, we'll have to refer it using the actual class because it is not there in any interface like transmittable. It is not there in parent class. So use the actual class name here. Okay, so now if I say step up gear, since I am not passing any argument, if I call this, it will print this one. But if I call this again, and in this, let's put a debug as well. If I call it again, this time I pass it a gear number. Currently I am at third gear. Okay, and if I call this, then it will call this other method. Okay, so in this case, both method have same name, but number of arguments are different. Here there are 0 arguments, here there is 1 argument. We can have another method which is, which has 2 arguments with the same name, and here we can have int max gear, and we can check if current gear is less than max gear, else we will print. If it is not, in that case we will print step up possible. Okay, so we have 3 methods with the same name, but the number of arguments is different. Okay, so which method gets called is decided at compile time only, because in this man car, if we refer it using car object and we do control kick, it goes to the parent method. But we saw at runtime that it doesn't execute the parent method, it executes the child method. Okay, so which method to execute is being decided at runtime. This is called runtime polymorphism. But this one, if we do control kick, it tells us the correct method. We will see that it tells us the correct method to which gets executed. Okay, so I am calling this method 3 times with different number of arguments, and we will see that before running only we are sure which method will get called. So this is called compile time polymorphism. At compile time only we are sure which method will get called. Okay, this is called compile time polymorphism. We can again test it. We can see drive method of manual got called. This is not what we are testing here. We are testing which gear method gets called when. So the first time step up gear with no argument is being called. Second time when we are passing one argument, step up gear with one argument, this one is being called. We can see that it is printing. What happened? Yeah, it took some time. I don't know why. But yeah, we can see that it is printing stepping up gear to 4, and then third time we are already sure that the third method with 2 number of arguments will get called. So we can see that third time also when we execute this method, the method with 2 number of arguments get called. So this we already know at the compile time. Okay, so that is why this is called compile time polymorphism. Okay, so we have learned what is runtime polymorphism, we have learned what is compile time polymorphism. It is a very important concept. And remember, what is polymorphism? Polymorphism means we can our ability to represent an object in more than one forms. Thanks.